ready?
Buzz, we are back. It's the final major of the year. We tried to record this about 18 times already today and yesterday. Included passing out, included camera not working, included microphone not working. But we're back. I'm so excited. I have it recorded, I think, in just about over a month now. Sam, how's it going? Last major of the year already.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were busy on your world tour, so we've missed the last several events, but back for the most important one until the tour championship. So we're back when it counts.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tournaments as well. Before we get into a little bit of the course breakdown, which I told you get maximum of 2 minutes, maybe I will give you 3. We will decide when we get there. But another Splash Sports contest pool. You pick 5 golfers. Shittiest one gets dropped. $12 entry for max entry. The Masters pool, someone took home like almost $600. I think second place was like 100. The other one was 80. So people have found a lot of success in them. So go sign up. I'll add that to the link. I have it pinned in my profile, although the show will probably get pinned. So just you'll find it somewhere. You can always DM me as well. Open Championship. Talk to me. What's up with the course? Few changes. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, so the course got added about 150 yards since 2016. Underwent renovation, I believe, in 2020. They added basically just length. Nothing cosmetic got changed. Just some tee boxes moved around a little bit. The cool thing about Royal Troon is they move the tee box a little around. They do that a lot at these courses in Scotland. Like last week, what's it called? Where they play, the Renaissance Club can play anywhere from 5,800 to 7,200. Royal Troon's pretty similar to that. They move the tee boxes around there a lot with the wind and everything. We're in Scotland. It's huge coastal weather, but not much else to this course. The big penalty for missing the fairway, which is a little bit different than last year's host Royal Liverpool, but outside of that, it's a pretty similar course. So guys taking the same tact as Brian Harman took last year, which is just hit 80% of your fairways, hit your greens in regulation, you'll be fine. Pretty steep emphasis on approach this week. These are the 4 smallest greens on the PGA Tour. Average, I believe, 4,200 square feet. Really, really tiny. So got to hit those greens in regulation.
Yeah, absolutely. And the rough is expected to be a little bit longer and a little bit thicker than the last time we saw a tournament played here back in 2016. Any thoughts on that? It's just there's a little bit more difficult if you do not hit those fairways.
Yeah, miss the fairway is already really, really penal with gorse bushes and pot bunkers. There are, I believe it's the 3rd most bunkers on tour here. There's bunkers all over the damn place. All over the greens, all over the fairways, and they're deep. This is really Scotland style pot bunkers. So you really don't want to get into those. You might have to pitch out backwards, stuff like that. Not very good if you're inaccurate there. So we'll be looking for a lot of guys with good total driving. Because the interesting part of this course that I really love is that you can kind of split it into 3 6-hole basically cycles. You have, they're called Heaven, Purgatory, and Hell, very aptly named. First 6 holes are Heaven. The first 3 holes are all under 400 yards, and each of them can be drivable if the wind is right. So longer hitters like Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy, you and I were talking about a tweet earlier off stream that basically Bryson said he wasn't going to be able to overpower this course, and then in practice rounds he's hitting his tee shots 380 390 on some of these holes with the wind. Can really get out to good starts if you're accurate with your tee balls there. So the first 6 holes, those are the easiest birdie opportunities on the course. Really have to take advantage if you want to have a good round. From holes 7 to 12, you start to shift into the wind. So it turns around, you do about a complete 180, and you're now playing several of these holes into the wind when you're playing with the wind on the front 6. And now it starts to get really difficult. The wind's in your face. These holes are longer. The tee shots are a little bit more difficult. This part is referred to as purgatory. And then for the last 6 holes, all hell breaks loose. You're happy to escape with par on these 6 holes aggregate. You're honestly, your bogey avoidance needs to be really good for these holes. So if it's not, we've seen plenty of guys blow up on these holes. If I remember some crazy stat, I think Henrik Stenson on Sunday in 2016 played these holes in 1 under or 2 under. Absolutely insane ball striking in 30, 40 mile an hour wind conditions. So that's how you really pull away. I don't think we're going to see 2 guys, 12, 13 strokes ahead of the field in this event. There's not supposed to be a lot of weather. So I do think we could see the scores up near like in that 15 to 17 range. Yeah. But I think it's going to be a much closer dispersion this year. Obviously, 2016 was absolutely crazy. You had 2 guys playing out of their minds. But there's not supposed to be a lot of wind, so I can't see the rest of the field falling away while 2 guys, do really well. But those 3 levels make this really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how some of these guys take this course around.
Yeah, and I think too, there's kind of like this broad range of guys that can win here. So it just depends on how they attack it. You mentioned approach, obviously. And then, bogey avoidance, you said as well. It's pretty like what you would expect here. Scrambling, strokes gained around the green, driving accuracy. I did look a little bit into Open Championship history too. This is one of those situations where I think it plays a little piece. We've seen that. Sand saves. Anything else that you put like a big emphasis on?
Yeah, I think scrambling is going to be really important here. Yeah. Distance from the edge of the fairway, which is a stat that you can find on BetSports Golf, is going to be really interesting as well. But this is a tournament and a course that I expect a lot more emphasis to be placed on, recent form and how guys can conform to that link style of golf. Yeah. More than any specific archetype. I think there's like you said, a lot of golfers can win here. I think that's the cool thing about Open Championships is that this is not a style of course that we see a lot, which kind of broadens the range of guys who can win. It's kind of why a lot of people were able to find triple-digit Brian Harmon last year, right? Very easily, and plenty of people were on him. It wasn't like he came out of nowhere. So I think there's definitely a lot we can see there. If you're good off the tee, your total driving is good. I think you're going to have a lot of success here. It definitely opens so many things up. So guys like Cam Smith, who are really inaccurate with their driver, even though they're like world-class scramblers and putters, I'm just not sure that this is going to be one of those weeks where a guy like him can seriously contend for a title again.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about some smash or pass bets. See where we can find some monies here. We actually have not done a lot of talking about this, so it'll be interesting to see what side both of us are on. The first card I'll put out will be with Caddyshanks in their newsletter that comes out tomorrow. I'll also do a video on that, and it'll be my Instagram. You can also subscribe. It's a free newsletter. All right, let's get into it. Smash or pass, CBEZ, top 40 plus 115.
Yeah, so this is interesting. A really important caveat. Plenty of people will notice that he withdrew from last week's Genesis Scottish Open. He hurt his wrist going out of a bunker. So he had to withdraw after the first round. He was 2 holes in and 5 over after that. But he shot 1 over in the first round of the Scottish. I think he was kind of, leading towards, an okay look there. He's been playing some really good golf. And I think if he's healthy, he's a really good fit for this course. I wasn't able to find anything that he's done. Obviously, when I was writing my course preview yesterday, no media had been done yet. They're doing all their media stuff, late yesterday or early today. So I'm hoping we'll hear something soon with CBEZ so I can kind of, either cash out or, really kind of put some more money on this because I just wanted to get something in with it. I do like this. Plus 115 T40 is a really good number for a guy who has 3 top 25 finishes in his last 4 tournaments, has been playing arguably the best golf of his career this year, runner-up finish at the American Express earlier this season out west, which I view as kind of a tertiary comparison for this style of course. Desert golf and links golf tends to have some nice comparisons to it, when there's no wind to be had, and with there not expecting to be a lot of wind this week, I expect this to be a course that Bez would play on well. Putting and approach game is really good for him. Solid in driving accuracy, but really excels with his wedges inside 100 yards, which is something we're going to want to see here. Wedge play inside 100 yards and outside of 150. Both are solid buckets there. He's 6th in bogey avoidance in this field as well. So if he's healthy, this is a slam dunk for me. Obviously, it's a little bit of a wait and see for right now until we hear kind of a confirmation, but I really like this price, so it's a smash for me.
I have the most obnoxious already response to this.
Of course you do.
I'm just passing because one, maybe I'm a little salty about the withdrawal, and I'm just kind of sick of hearing his name. Like, I feel like he was such an underrated player. No, I feel like the public has just like ruined the whole Seabass thing for me because I don't think it's a bad bet. But I'm out for that reason. Like, I'm sick of hearing his name.
Okay.
Is that fair?
It's reasonable.
Okay. All right. Next one, smash or pass. Shane Lowry, top 10.
Okay, so history. We have history on our side here. Outside of that, fabulous approach player. Very good in driving accuracy when he needs to be. I kind of like it. He hasn't. The only thing I don't love is I haven't heard his name a lot, and I can't remember if that's because he's just not playing that well this year, which I think is more of it, or it's the fact that he's kind of just not been playing a lot of tournaments lately, which I also think he hasn't played since the Travelers.
He's either like he has one miscut. It was his first tournament, I think, and then it's either like a top 10 or like somewhere between like 60 and 30, right? Like
So interesting. Pack of results over his last 5. He has a T6, a T9, a T19, and then 2 finishes outside the top 30. So it's not all bad. I mean, the driving accuracy, like I said, is really good from him. 2016, he did miss the cut here. So there is that. And his driving accuracy was horrific. 22% worse than the rest of the field. We can pass a lot of things off. The fact that this was 8 years ago is obviously like the biggest thing we can take into account. Like, he has played really well in recent majors.
Mm-hmm.
He's finished top 21 in every single major over his last 8 except for 2, which is great. So I don't hate it. He did miss the cut last year at Royal Liverpool, unfortunately, but the driving accuracy was up there. So he just wasn't able to get around the greens, and his putting was bad. But I don't know. What's the price again?
It's plus 400 for the top 10.
I'm just gonna pass. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I just, I'm just not with it. I just don't think he's played enough recently to where like I'd be comfortable with it. Like, and top 10's a lot. This is a really strong field. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah. Okay, I'm smashing. We're calling this the near death experience bet. If you haven't seen my obnoxious tweets about it, I passed out at the gym, and for some reason, the first thing I thought when I came to was Shane Lowry. I don't know why. I'm not really a Shane Lowry girly. I think that
I'm usually the Shane Lowry guy.
Yeah, you're usually the Shane Lowry girly. But there's ways to like fit. You can find ways to push this narrative too. Top 10 in strokes gained total at Open Championships the past 5 years. All the things you alluded to. I also bet him first round leader. I kind of like the first round leader bet better than the top 10, but I did bet both of those. He's 50-1, a couple places, 45-1. Other places, I like him for first round leader. I don't know if I can see him like truly contending, but we will go with maybe me like seeing the light and that being some reason to bet this.
Yeah, I will say the last time I had one of these was when I dreamt that Jason Day was going to win the Masters. We all remember how that turned out. Right?
Yeah,
remember that dream.
Well, I will say that number for Jason Day this week is kind of something I can't look away from.
I haven't
done it yet. But if I see his outfits, and you see, I might not be able to resist. Let's move on to a guy that's playing very, very good golf right now. Smash or pass, Aaron Rai, top 30 plus 110. What are you thinking for 2 gloves?
Yeah, so this is kind of perfect, right? Like T30 plus 110, it's a terrific number. It was going to be a travesty if Aaron Rai somehow did not qualify for this tournament. As of the beginning of last week, he had still not qualified. He needed to place, I believe it was in the top 5 to make it into the Open Championship. And he placed T4, had a terrific final round, shot 7 under to kind of just muscle straight his way in there. And it's kind of nice that nobody in the top 5 really did anything last week. Obviously, Ludwig choked everything away. Bobby Mack came back to win, undeservedly, by the way. Worst ruling I've ever seen in my life. Not going to talk about it. I've talked enough. But I'm glad he finally qualified because he has been playing some of the best golf on tour over the last month. Just an absolute rocket ship in his playing ability, and we haven't really seen this from Rai. You know, we've obviously seen him play well, before on the tour, but T4, T7, T2, T19, T14 in his last 5 events. Randomly lost strokes at the Scottish Open last week on approach, which he hasn't done in any of his last 9 events. But I'm very, very unconcerned by that. He's an approach merchant. Like, he's just good from everywhere if his ball's in the fairway. And the good news about that is he's also one of the most accurate drivers of the golf ball on tour, has gained on approach or accuracy relative to the field in every single event he's played this season. And that's like 25 at this point. So I'm really, really in on Rai at this price point. 8th in bogey avoidance in the field this season. Despite the fact that his bunker game isn't that great, this is only a T30. We're not asking for him, to win again. I mean, this is just something he's gone out and done. I mean, included in those finishes was a T19 at the U.S. Open. So, he played well in that. T39 at the PGA Championship, which is still, pretty solid. Completely different course. But the major championship have not, daunted him at all. I think he's a terrific bet at this price point. I think the market is still trying to catch up on how he's played over the past several months. And the putting, he's gained nearly a full stroke per round putting in each of his last 4 events. Each of his last 3, he has the 4th narrowly 0.75. So really like Rai this week. I have a feeling that I will probably take some shots on him being in the top 10 as well at a much higher number, but the T30 is something I am smashing.
Yeah, I'm smashing as well. Like you said, 5 straight top 20 finishes. He's 8 straight made cuts. I like the putting was always a knock too. And, he kind of seems like more confident. He's doing things a little bit better. I like how mechanical of a golfer he is for a course like this. So I'm definitely there for the top 30. I think people are going to go really heavy on betting him outright. I'm sure I haven't seen a lot of cards. I can imagine a lot of people are on him. And I think this is the week where maybe we see him, he doesn't get one of these top 10 finishes, but a top 30, I think he's still there. And I think you'll see his name on my card once we get to these kind of lesser tournaments that are going to approach us once we get past this tournament. Next one here, smash or pass, Theegala, top 20 plus 225. It's plus 150 some places.
Yeah, I mean, you already know where I stand on Theegala. Both you and I are very, very in on him this week. This is just a course that suits him, just like the Renaissance Club suited him last week to the point, where he narrowly missed out on another win there. I just think Theegala is just such a good golfer. He can hit every single shot, and I really don't think he's going to have that many issues finding himself in contention. I really don't think there's much more to say. This is an easy bet for me to make.
No, yeah, I'm with you. Strong week last week. I bet him outright round 2. I saw some people have really nice 100 to ones, 125 to ones. If you have that, awesome. Before I left for my appointment, I saw there was still a 65 to 1 somewhere. That's the best number that I saw, but it's down to like 50, 45. I got it 80 to 1. Very, very pleased with that number. I think as long as he doesn't go super crazy with like he can get crazy with the accuracy type thing. He can start spraying a little bit. That makes me nervous. But I also think he's someone that when it comes to like, if there is weather changes, if he does get himself into these bad spots, he has an ability to scramble. He has an ability to like deal with these changes in conditions a little bit better than some guys. So I think this is where you could really see Theegala start. You know, he's a popular name because of the character that he is, but I think people could start throwing a little bit more respect for him as the golfer he is too, because he's having a very, very good season. And I think this is kind of like can be a coming out party for Theegala. I've said a million times, I'll say it again. I think his first win is going to come somewhere similar to this. It's going to be like a difficult type.
Well, he's had his first.
Well, win. Yeah, no, but I mean, like, I do think at some point he wins a major,
like a big time win.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, 100%. Next one here: smash or pass. Brooks Koepka top 20 plus 140.
Yes. So this is an interesting one. It's not often that we see 5-time major winners who are still relatively in their prime shift down the odds board as far as Koepka has. And I know this morning he was as deep as 55 to 1. He is currently still plus 140 in the top 20 market. But this is a pass for me. And, 9 out of 10 times is going to be a really solid play, especially top 20. But nobody can argue that Brooks is kind of just, even winning the 2023 PGA Championship, he's looked a little bit disinterested. He did he had a kid. There's some sort of correlation there. It happens. You end up, taking less time and focusing on these new responsibilities in your life. Even if you're a professional athlete, it does happen. Didn't play the 2016.
Getting paid $1 billion, millions,
yeah, that also
fucking helps too.
Yeah, like you just simply like Brooks was always that type of guy, like who literally like did not care about the PGA Tour, in the sense of playing for the FedEx Cup playoffs. He played for majors, like he was flat out, he said that. But he, obviously going to live kind of exacerbates that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely quietly played like very solid golf in prior to 2022 at the Open, T6 in 2021, T4 in 2019, T6 in 2017. But he did not play well at Royal Liverpool last year, was T64. He struggled a lot at times with his driving accuracy, especially this year, like has not driven the ball that well on live. Did not drive it well at the Masters, the PGA, or the US Open realistically. And really just has not played the Masters well since winning the PGA. This wouldn't shock me if he were to contend and like really play some good golf. Because if anybody can turn it up for a major championship, it is Koepka.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know if this is the spot you want to take him in. I think there are some better players around this range. Even at 55 to 1, like I see people betting it strictly as like a numbers type of play, and I'm okay with that. Just not feeling that myself. So this is a pass for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna contradict myself when we get into quad Ds, but like when it comes to the majors too, I like to bet on guys that I like to root for. And it's not like I don't like to root for Brooks. He's not one of my guys. Like he's not someone I really place bets on. He's not having a good major run. He had that, what did he win in Singapore in May? Mm-hmm. He's never a bad bet at a major, I don't think. He's one of those guys, and I think there's like 10, maybe not even 10. There's some guys you literally just can't count out, and he's one of them. Yeah. He's someone that maybe I could find myself live betting, maybe. And he does have 4 career top 10s at the Open Championship.
Yep.
I'm just out. His wife also posted a TikTok that gave me the ick, so I was like, and I'm definitely out now. I can't do it. Any last thoughts on Koepka?
No, I think if you want to bet a live guy, there are a bunch of other live guys that I think are quite decent course fits. You know, Louis Oosthuizen comes to mind. Joaquin Niemann comes to mind. Obviously, I think Bryson is one of those guys that you can kind of just bet on vibes at this point. But I'm kind of out on Koepka. I think the next time people are really going to consider him is next April at Augusta.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's get into the quad Ds. Before we do that, you guys have to go check out Rhythm, download the app. Yep. Free for 7 days. You don't have to give your credit card. The AI Caddy makes watching these events so much fun, especially if you're a casual that's just tuning in for one of these majors, giving you percentages on holes, birdie, like those. There's the whole live hole props are so much fun, especially when you're on your couch watching this for hours on end. You're waking up early to do this. Couldn't recommend it more. I'll put that link also into the YouTube description. Start us off with your dad bet.
Yeah, so like I said, we're gonna get a chance to talk about this guy. I think plenty this week. But Tom Kim plus 180 to finish in the top 20 is my dad bet here. Just like I said, very, very similar outlook to Royal Liverpool last year. Hit the ball straight, you hit your greens, you make your putts, and then birdie the holes that you need to. Tom Kim ranks 12th in driving accuracy in this field. Just an absolute superstar in links golf. Ranks in the top 5 in strokes gained total on links style courses over the last couple of years. And look, there's a lot more weight on approaches than last year's Royal Liverpool course. And I think that's not going to be an issue for Tom Kim at all. Tied 18 in strokes gained approach on courses with a high missed fairway penalty. Plays really well on courses that have small greens that are slow as well. Just a really, really confident golfer right now. Really should have had a good chance to win the Travelers a few weeks ago. Lost to his best friend Scotty. And I think everything is kind of shaping up well for him. Strong, scrambling around the greens as well. I think everything is shaping up well for him. He's going to be on my outright card as well, but I'm much more comfortable in this place of play.
Yeah, I'm with you. This was actually going to be my dad bet. I pivoted when you said before that you didn't want to talk about it. Wrote down some other ones because I had a feeling we might be on this together. He likes to play in the UK. I mean, he had what did he finish? T15, his 4th round, he shot a 64. He's in good form. Top 5 in strokes gained approach the last 24. He's gained strokes with his approach play in each of the last 8 majors he's played. And again, he's one of these guys I like to root for. I'm going to have action on. I might even get, I mean, I haven't bet it yet, but like I might be looking at more like a top 10, but I think the top 20 at plus 180 is a really good number for a guy that's playing great golf, is easy to root for. And it's a good style play for him.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it wouldn't shock me to see him win this tournament. If Harman doesn't run away with this last year, there's a decent chance that Tom Kim has, a 30-40% chance of winning this tournament.
Yeah, I'll go through these quickly and then let you give out your one and done. Bryson for a top 20 being minus 115 feels crazy to me. Even if you don't think he's going to do that well, because he hasn't finished worse than 6th at a major this year. If you're looking for something that you don't feel like you're risking that much, I still think that's a good number at minus 115 for Bryson, who I can imagine finds success. And then once I get to my one done, I'm contradicting myself twice here. So I also like the Rory top 10 minus 105. He's playing great. I'm not a Rory fan. I've never been a Rory fan. This will be the only time. So if he does not get this, you will never hear me put Rory on a single card ever again. But I do think the top 10 at minus 105 is a good number. Despite his little meltdown, he had some, time off. He's just playing good. So I do like that. Where are you going with your one and done?
Yeah, my one and done is going to be Morikawa. I said this was going to be a really boring betting card. The entire world is on this guy. Nobody hates this more than me. Like the entire world being on Morikawa.
Oh no, I hate it more than you.
Okay. But I just think everything's kind of been leading up to this. it just feels like it has. It just feels like that this is the place where he wins again. Seventh in strokes gained approach on tiny greens, elite driving accuracy, third in strokes gained per round on links course in the last 5 years. Guy hasn't finished outside of the top 16 in 9 straight tournaments since the Masters. Like it's kind of just getting ridiculous at this
it feels
point.
Broken.
Like,
it's giving broken.
The only thing he can't do is putt on Sundays. He can't close.
He can't.
But this is the kind of course that if everyone else is floundering on Sundays because they can't hit the greens, and all Colin is doing, down the stretch in hell on those last 6 holes is hitting the green and 2-putting, or even 3-putting in some cases. Like, I think there's a good chance that he wins if he gets himself out to a lead ahead of time. I think if he's in a spot where he doesn't have to push that much going into Sunday, I think he's in a really, really good spot here.
Yeah.
His putting has become deadly accurate in the last 6 months as well. Like, just there isn't a lot of reasons to bet against Morikawa.
Except for the fact that it's Morikawa and it's a no, literally no.
I have him at 16-1. I also have him at 20-1. I double dipped. There's no way that comes back to bite me in the ass. It just seems like, a great bet at this point. I mean, I don't know that there's many other guys at the price point that I would like to take right now.
Yeah, I would say if you haven't used him in your one and dones, like I would use him this week if I was in that position. I did use him already, so I'm not in that position. 3 guys that I'm looking at here, depending on who I've used. I think if you haven't used Ludwig or Hovland, I think there's an opportunity here for you to do that. And I cannot believe the words that are about to come out of my fucking mouth. I do not hate Jon Rahm. I think that if I'm ever going to use him, it's going to be this week. I hate him. I'm not a fan. I'm not going to bet him, but I will be using him in my one or dones. It's very gross. I'm going to regret that probably. Who is your dart bet this week?
So my dart bet is another guy that a lot of people are on here, but the price is really good, and he's shown us that he can win. And there's so many things pointing to it. Triple digits, 100-1, Akshay Bhatia.
Yep, mine too.
Yep, I really like it. I have another guy that's very, very out of the box, but Akshay, like, he's just shown himself to be such a good player when the chips are down, and he really just needs to hit a shot. Another guy that comes to mind is, Bobby McIntyre. Obviously not a long shot anymore, but both guys have just shown to be able to win and hit the shots they need to when they need to. Both are very strong putters. I think everything about Akshay's game is just geared for the big stage. Can flight the ball both ways if he needs to, hits the ball low when he needs to, can make a putt if he really needs to. The driving accuracy is really good for him. He's in great form. And then the other guy that I wanted to get into that's really, really down the list, really, really far, and I don't think anybody's going to be on this man, 350-1, Austin Eckroyd. I love it. He ranks first in this field in strokes gained off the tee, first in driving accuracy, third in distance from the edge of the fairway. Just the approach game has always been good with him. Very, very good on slow greens sneakily, and just is in decent form as well. I think he's someone that I would be comfortable placing a flyer on. Just like a buck or two.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I don't hate him. I don't think I would bet him outright, but I also I only have 2 guys on my card so far. We'll post my final card, but yeah, I don't hate it. Like, I would be interested to see what his numbers are for other things. Like, I've always been a fan of him. I think I've taken him outright quite a bit. Not quite a bit. That's dramatic. At least twice this year. But yeah, I'm also on Akshay. I think the upside for a guy in great form at whatever you got it at, I think I got it at 125-1, 100-1, whatever it is like a very, very good number for a guy that I do believe could win this tournament. Also, his Saturday outfit absolutely fucks. So I want to see that shirt.
Wait, you've seen the outfits already? I thought
Oh
you
yeah,
don't
I've
see
seen
that
like
at
everyone's
times.
outfits. Get ready to vomit when you see Hovland's. Tony's are not as good as I expected this week. Speets are Speets. Justin Thomas's are Justin Thomas's. Like it's a lot of it's very.
Is there a theme here? Is there a theme here that I'm missing?
What?
Like, is there a theme? You just bet on guys because they're
no, but Akshay's shirt was like, okay, you should. It pushed me over the edge. Like, wait till you see it. If you guys haven't seen it, it's seriously great. I'm gonna put a picture of it in my Caddyshanks video. That'll be on my Instagram in a little bit. Okay. Dumb fuck bet. What you got?
I have two. The first one was Eckroat T30 plus 360.
Okay.
Really like that. Don't need to explain more. And then my second one is Cam Young T20 plus 240 because
okay, I guess we have to start sharing these before. Because,
why? So you can filter out my deranged ratings.
No, because he's my dumb fuck bet. I have him top 10 plus 550. I think I definitely did suffer a concussion yesterday, and this will be the only and last time that I bet on this motherfucker if he does not hit this.
You co-host a show with me. You're never gonna be.
No, I promise you, I'm out on this guy. I think
you say so.
I'm not a fan.
I don't believe you.
His last two tournaments, though, yeah, T6, the T9. Majors this year, he had a T9 at the Masters, otherwise shit, pretty on brand for Cameron Young, but yeah, I don't hate it. Any final thoughts before we wrap up and get out of here so I can get this up into the
Cam Young is 10% more accurate off the tee than the rest of the field in last year's Open Championship.
Okay, he is missing the cut, and
on
that note,
a hater of
we're going to get out of here. Be sure to comment, leave who you think is going to win. Hit subscribe, like all the things. I'll be back Thursday night to start the NFL season once again. Looking forward to it. A lot to say on that, and we'll get out of here. Good luck.
See you in those Splash Sports streets.
Yeah, let's win some monies.
Watch him make it, break it, break it, break it.